Atifu mechache mubiem. The Voice TV GH. Eso enamasugua mutie. Yenko ensemno emu.
Has gone to the Supreme Court judge's house and had a conversation. The judge is looking at a novel matter. There's no precedent to guide her. You know that for us, our Anglo-Saxon common law, stare decisis, which means that you have to follow the rulings of other courts historically.
We are to Forson some media when you say nene update abba and a person or the brand out here. Ebra omuko pm e na se bedwamu ana se na se bedwani outside majority leader to Forson. Onko pm okra high court na omubise bisan sema hodro na mutem se oh ensem na mokike nyina attorney general wakoya de bia enye professional ye unprofessional. Eti kan some kra mo na gala we na ho na mutim say hey nanu ade se mo bobo tape bi mo evidence mbra na chese yinyina so na asem ni nima bibia ntretina na busia se de musi kwa mo ho awo court dem ho nya asem ketwa yesu yin nim se omudi audio babonti abebo by dru court wan chese ase pardon mo chebesi ase atwitwa bi ase ni ade chese de babonti nya no mesade court enti enei omo hwe sensem no baby a etuotu no mo de bekire ama bibia akokama pa ye brani ekotie pardon mo chede nya obi biensem so papa say court dem woni me koso yekutie ni se wodi tuja mesre subscribe channel no share e kire wadwen nemom ma wonsem eho enti mesre wada yekutie ensem ekoso ewo Accra High Court nanwada.
So on these are the options that we think are open to the judge. There could be more, but we try to get some options just to put our viewers in a certain mind on the straight and narrow as we approach the D-Day. One, the judge could agree with Richard Jakpa and accept to dismiss the suit because of the purported misconduct of the AG. Number two, the judge could dismiss the application so that the suit takes its normal course. And number three, despite all this, the learned trial judge has the ability and chance to set precedent. Okay. So, three is different from 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are the options. He either agrees with Jakpa or he dismisses Jakpa's application. But what is essential is that this is very novel. This application is novel. Application that says that because of the Attorney General's supposed something and phone call, stop the trial. It's never happened since 1960 when the Criminal Offences Act was written and when the British finally left and they gave us our own law and we had our own laws. No individual under prosecution has brought an application to the court suggesting that the Attorney General has done something outside the court, outside the normal matter, outside the court situation, and has had a conversation with somebody, and as a result of that, please stop the prosecution so that we are not prosecuted any further. Give us an immunity. Clothe us with immunity from prosecution, because the Attorney General, the lead prosecutor, has gone to a Supreme Court judge's house and had a conversation. The judge is looking at a novel matter. There's no precedent to guide her. You know that for us, our Anglo-Saxon common law, stare decisis, which means that you have to follow the rulings of other courts historically when the matter is similar. That's the judges in the Anglo-Saxon, that is British American law. That's how they call it, the Anglo-Saxon common law. Those countries that subscribe to that common law also subscribe to the principle of following after the rulings that have happened in a similar matter. So if in matter X in 1938, this and this happened, and the same situation is occurring again in 2024, the lawyers will draw the judge's attention to what they call legal authorities. And the legal authorities, therefore, or thereby, will be compelling on the judge, except if another lawyer or the judge himself or herself is able to distinguish the circumstances. Distinguish the circumstances means you want to show that there's some part of the current case that does not look like the old case, and therefore we are not bound by that precedent. It's called stare decisis. That's the principle in Latin. Okay, so her ladyship has a big opportunity on Thursday to set a precedent on the way in which these applications are handled, because it's the first time an application is ever coming. Her ladyship, remember, is a justice of the Court of Appeal, and she's sitting as an additional High Court judge. So a lot is expected from her in terms of the legal theory and the legal philosophy, and she's going to deliver that on Thursday. So that's Jakpa. He's the one who was telling the Attorney General that, do you remember the thing? I did the same thing you were saying. Okay, play the Jakpa tape. Play it. Have a listen.
The problem I'm having, anytime you bring up this issue with Yoni Kulendi, when Yoni Kulendi's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Yonikulende, when Yonikulende's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Yonikulende, when Yonikulende's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having.
He said, anytime you bring this issue, that's a problem I have. When we went to Yonikulende's place, that's Richard Jakpa. Now, Jakpa conducted this recording according to him. And I mean, the thing that is the most bizarre argument I've heard, I can't wrap my head around it, is that when the NDC published the tape, the MPP apparently held a press conference and said that the tape was doctored. Now, the argument that I hear Richard Jakpa himself told journalists today is that if the tape is doctored, bring the original one. I don't understand it. So, let me take it slow, one by one. They say your tape is doctored. Your response is that if you say this is a doctored tape, bring the original tape. Asedu Ketia also said that. Samuel Jemfi also said that. I don't understand what they are talking about. When we say a tape is doctored, it's not because we have an original one. So let me ask them. Let me ask Samuel Jemfi. If a forensic expert comes to the court or anywhere for that matter, listens to the tape and concludes that the tape is doctored, does it mean that he has the original tape? I mean, what are they talking about? This evening, Martin Pebu, he often doesn't, but today he said something sensible. He said that when they say tape is doctored, it means that you have removed something, you have added something, or it doesn't add up. So he gave an example. Martin Pebu gave an example today on Joy FM. He said, for instance, this tape they are talking about, they say it's 26 minutes, but what they played was 16 minutes. So that can be an example or an inquiry into doctrine. With that, you can begin an inquiry into doctrine. So I don't understand when Asedu Ketia of all people, very intelligent man, Samuel Jemfi, propaganda secretary, and Richard Jakpa, their newfound friend, all say that if the tape is doctored, bring your own. I mean, wow. When we say a tape is doctored, it doesn't mean we have the original. It means we can listen to the sound of the tape and notice that a word is repeating itself. Notice that there are gaps in the recording. And notice that it appeared that some editing was being done. That is the meaning of a tape is doctored. A tape is doctored doesn't mean we have the original. In any case, you conducted your illegal recording on your own together with your friends. The person you were recording, because he's honest and he trusts you, he was not counter-recording. And then you produce the tape. Everything about the tape shows that you have deleted something, added something, and how did we know? When it came to text messages, they deleted it. And we showed the original text message here. For those of you who have not seen it, perhaps they will show it again. They deleted it. So we know that there are characters in the world that are not honest, that are brutally dishonest. And they can do these things. So when people were listening to the tape, they were listening to the way the tape will work. And now, many experts have come out to say that everything about that tape is doctored. Now, when they say a tape is doctored, and you say, go and bring your own, it is the most embarrassing answer to give. When an allegation is made that the tape is doctored, it's the most embarrassing answer to give. But here you are, Richard Jakpa gave that answer to journalists today. Samuel Jemfi, the propaganda secretary of the NDC and counsel for the party, also gave that answer today. And Asedu Ketia Johnson, Asedu Ketia, my former neighbor, also gave that answer in his press conference. And I was disappointed because for me as a reporter, I like to see the arguments at very high level. And I have covered Parliament. I covered the second Parliament. I heard those brilliant arguments from NDC and from MPP. J.H. Spencer, J.H. also Tampo, Doa Jao. They were all there. Aban Bagbin, making brilliant submissions both ways. That's how our democracy grows. But when you hear one side debasing the argument completely, something that JSS 2 boys can understand, that when they say a tape is doctored, it doesn't mean that you have your own. It's very childish to think like that. A tape is doctored doesn't mean that. So please, can you tell them? Because ask them, if a forensic expert comes to the court or comes anywhere, takes the tape, passes it through forensic analysis and says that this tape is doctored, does it mean that he has a copy?